Today, I'm gonna go over some of the best pepper varieties for beginners to grow. Whether you're new to growing peppers or you're a seasoned gardener that's just looking for some really reliable varieties, these are some of our go-to recommendations for anybody looking for easy peppers to grow in the garden. These are varieties that we grow every single year because they're low maintenance, they're typically very prolific, and they're often resistant to certain diseases and pest issues. I'll also be going over a few more challenging varieties that you may want to avoid if you're new to growing peppers in the garden. So getting started, one of the easiest peppers that you can grow are banana peppers. And as far as specific varieties go, we absolutely love growing the banana goddess pepper because it is so prolific, it is incredibly sturdy, so if you have really windy summers or unpredictable weather, it doesn't require as much staking as other varieties. The banana goddess pepper is absolutely delicious. It produces tons of really large crunchy peppers, and it's one of our go-to varieties for pickling or making stuffed banana peppers. This banana pepper is also disease resistant, making it easier to grow in the garden than some other banana peppers. And if you like spice, there are some hot banana pepper varieties you can grow as well, in addition to the Hungarian wax pepper, which looks very similar to the banana pepper but packs a little bit of heat. If you're interested in growing banana peppers, I definitely recommend going with at least 2 to 3 plants so that you have plenty of pods for pickling or any recipes that you're looking to make. And luckily, banana peppers are really easy to find at nurseries and garden centers in the spring. So just make sure that you're picking really healthy looking seedlings to ensure that you have a nice strong plant for the whole season. Before I get into the next variety, be sure to sign up for our email list. We just implemented a new segment where we're offering exclusive weekly pepper growing tips, and you'll get access to all of our latest content on the website, pepper growing articles, recipes, and everything on our YouTube channel as well. Next up on the list is the serrano pepper. Now, serrano peppers are spicy. They clock in at about 10,000 on the Scoville scale, so they're about 2 to 3 times hotter than a jalapeno pepper. But serrano peppers are smaller than jalapeno peppers, so you typically get a larger harvest, and they are very low maintenance plants. Serrano peppers are usually harvested when they're green, so they're great for shorter season zones, but you can also let them ripen to their beautiful red color, and they work so well in different recipes. You can slice them up and make spicy pickles. You can wait until they get red and dehydrate them and make your own spicy pepper powder, or you can make your own hot sauce or salsa. It is worth noting that if you don't like it quite as spicy as a serrano pepper, there are plenty of jalapeno pepper varieties that are disease resistant and great for beginner growers as well. Next up on the list of easy peppers to grow is a favorite of ours in the kitchen, and that is the Jimmy Nardello pepper. This pepper is an Italian heirloom variety with a really rich history and background, and it's definitely growing in popularity. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of Jimmy Nardello peppers popping up at supermarkets and farmers markets. This pepper grows exceptionally well for us here in the Northeast in Connecticut, but if you have experience anywhere else growing this pepper, let us know in the comments how it performs for you in your climate. This pepper is definitely more quirky and fun, and it adds a little bit of interest to your garden space while also being easy to grow and very productive. This is one of our favorite flavors when it comes to sweet peppers, especially when they turn red, so it's worth waiting for them to change color before using them in the kitchen. These peppers have no heat at all, and they're thin-walled, so they're not the best for pickling, though you can pickle them, but they work really well in pasta dishes or stir fries or anywhere you would add sweet peppers in the kitchen. Next up on the list are habanero peppers. Habanero peppers are definitely spicy, and depending on the variety you grow, can be 100 times or more hotter than a jalapeno pepper. And there are so many different types of habanero pepper that you can grow. There's white varieties, brown, yellow, red, mustard, orange. So if you want to add spice and color to your garden, this is a great place to start. Most habanero peppers require similar growing conditions, so this is great for beginners because if you want to experiment with different varieties, it's easy to do so. They also tend to be very lush and bushy, beautiful growing plants, so they're very rewarding to see in the garden. They're also pretty easy to find in nurseries now, so if you don't have the time to start them earlier indoors, you can typically find them at your local garden center or a farm that sells seedlings. And when it comes to the flavor profile, habanero peppers are one of our favorites. We use them to make hot sauces all the time. So if you want to add a little bit of a different flavor to your garden space, but a lot of heat, habanero peppers are a great way to do it. Next up on the list for easy pepper varieties to grow are shishito peppers. Shishito peppers are great. They have absolutely no heat. They're extremely prolific. In our experience, they have truly been one of the easiest peppers that you can grow. They're an earlier pepper to harvest, so it's always great having those pods come in a little bit sooner. And if you want to keep it really small scale and you're growing on an apartment or a balcony, they do really well in pots. We do have a recent Pepper Geek video about the best peppers to grow in pots. I'll leave a link to that below if it's something you're interested in. Shishito peppers make really good pickles. You can add a few hot peppers in there to spice it up, or you can just fry them up on the stove with a little bit of oil and spices for a nice crunchy side dish. Now, I do want to get into a few varieties that you may want to avoid if you're new to growing peppers or if you typically have trouble. And I want to start that list off with bell peppers. When you're growing bell peppers, you really need to adjust your expectations because you might think, oh, bell peppers are so common, I see them all the time, they're so easy to grow, but that truly is not the case. A really successful bell pepper plant may only produce a few peppers, so you may need to dedicate more space or just grow more bell pepper plants if you want more pods. So this can be really discouraging for new gardeners or people who are new to growing peppers because they start off with bell peppers and they expect these huge yields. Ricotta peppers are really unique and interesting. However, they are more difficult to grow than other varieties depending on your climate. So that's worth keeping in mind if this is a variety that you're interested in. Any super hot varieties are also really interesting and intriguing, and new pepper growers love to grow these varieties, but they're not as easy as other varieties. So really it just comes down to not being discouraged if you notice that these plants aren't doing as well as some of your other plants. If you have the desire to grow any pepper, we absolutely recommend giving it a shot, but it is important to note that some varieties just do better and are easier to grow than others. Let us know in the comments any pepper varieties that you had a lot of difficulty growing in your garden. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.